Hey guys, how are you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, a blog where I talk about all my experiences with the tarot cards, and I also review decks and books. And on this YouTube channel where you're watching me right now, nowadays I've started making videos where I talk about tarot, where I do spreads, where I do deck reviews, book reviews, all that stuff which I used to blog about before. Now I'm doing this on YouTube. Isn't that cool? If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Please, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel and hit the like button so I know that you like this video. But of course, all this is for the end of the video. Right? But I'm just saying it because I haven't figured out my intro speech yet. Anyway, today's video is a continuation of the Celtic Cross spread that I did last month. I will put the link up top somewhere so you can click on that and go see it if you want to take a look at it. In that video, I had used the Celtic Cross to do a very general reading. Today I'm going to talk about how you can use the Celtic Cross to do a very specific reading. Excited, interested? Especially this one is going to focus on relationships, which is like the most common topic that most readers will encounter in their professional career. So let's go. Hey guys, so last week, I believe the video that I made was a review of this awesome deck, the Housewives Tarot. And one of my regular viewers, she was like, I have this deck too, but I find it a little tough to do readings with it, or I haven't really played with it. So I'm like, okay, that kind of motivated me to say, okay, I will do my next reading spreads video with this deck. So here I am. It has the box. I'm going to be, of course, referring to the book as well because, hey, I haven't read it completely, honestly speaking. And, well, it's good to have some reference if required. And I have the Celtic Cross spread on this little post-it note. So as a ready reference, it's right there. Now, coincidentally, like I said, this reading is going to be a relationship-related reading. So, Celtic Cross, where we look at the situation, the relationship. This is actually a reading that was, request that was kind of sent to me. This is a married lady, so it's very interesting. She's not a housewife; she's a working lady, but she's having some issues with her husband, so it's a relationship reading, so you kind of got to get to expect that. She is a water sign, so let me just pull out the significator card and put that aside because we're going to use this card, the Queen of Cups, as her significator, and then we're going to do the reading around it. Okay, so I'm going to go shuffle the cards and I will be right back. All right, so I had to move the camera around a little bit when I realized that, because these are the big size cards, these are not the slightly smaller sized cards that I use, the Universal Pocket deck. So I had to move this camera around a little bit so that, hopefully the whole spread can be seen in the video, in the frame. Okay, so I hope they're shuffled well. I will be also, shuffling them more. Okay. Now the thing is, she didn't really specify what troubles they were having, why they were having the troubles. So I don't really know what to expect from this reading, what specific issues will show up. So, this is going to be as much as a mystery to me as it is for anybody else out there. So, it's not like I have some idea what the troubles are, what the issues are. And, yeah, this reminds me actually of a method that my teacher, my first tarot teacher, Sona, she used to use this. She used to shuffle the deck And then she used to divide it into 3 parts. And she used to say, oh, this is for the general reading, this is for the relationship, and this is for your career. So whenever a client used to come up to her for a reading, she would shuffle the deck, split it up into 3 parts and say, so what's your question all about? And then the client would say, oh, it's about my work, or it's about my relationship. And then she would pick up that pile and she would start dealing cards from that particular pile. So that's something I just remembered. So it's pretty interesting. Maybe you guys can try something like that in your readings as well. All right. So you can see I haven't played this with this deck since I did the review video. So the cards are bunching up a bit. All right, here goes. The Queen of Cups card, the significator card, that's already right here. But I'm going to make a fan now. Oh, okay. It's roughly there. Okay, so hope this is in the center. Okay, this is the significator. This is her. So the first card will be her environment. And I'm going to just pull the cards out and just keep them there. And then I'll open them up and do the reading. Next one will be the obstacles. Then we have the ideal, or what she's working with. This one's going on top, but because there's cards there, I'm just keeping it here. Then we have what she has to, this is ideal, or what she wants. Then 4th will be what she has to work with. Okay. Then now 5th is behind her. So if you see, the face is looking at us. So it can be anywhere actually. So I'm just going to go with the 5th card being here. And the 6th card, which is what lies ahead of her. So that's here. And then 7th is her again. 8th is her environment. 9th is her hopes and fears. And 10th is the outcome. All right. It's a little crowded, isn't it? Okay. Okay, let me arrange it a little bit better. I'm trying to move things around so that it's in the frame. A little bit. Oh gosh, this is the best I could do, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, so now let's open this up. First, we have her environment. And remember, this is a relationship reading, and we have the World card. Now, the World card over here shows, a box with all the, stuff that the family needs to kind of focus on. We have the family, home, garden, money, auto, and pictures of all that. Basically, her environment, her family, her life, her work, everything kind of is her world. That's her environment. This whole family is her world, right? She has devoted herself to her life, her married life, her family life, and that has become her world. And the responsibilities of this family have also become kind of central, there's the center of her universe, so to speak. And that is her environment. So what's the obstacles? This is kind of going to give us a little bit of a clue. And we have 8 of Cups as the obstacle. And see, look at her. She's kind of, look at all the teacups, and she's having this tired little face. She's like, oh my God. So now you can see she's kind of feeling underappreciated is what I feel here, right? She's putting in a lot of work for her family. She's probably taking care of everything, like her, because her world is her family, and she's taking care of everyone's emotional needs over there. but her needs are probably not being looked after, and that is wearing her down, and that is the root cause of all the issues, I would say. Maybe that's, she's opening up to her husband, or she's expecting him to understand where she's coming from, what she's going through, and he isn't really able to kind of communicate with her on that level. So that could be one of the issues. And so she wants a little bit of a break. She maybe wants someone to help her in the housework, or in take part of the responsibilities, so that she can also have relax and have a life, kind of. Maybe I kind of get that. Sometimes women literally are the ones who run the family. They keep everything going, and it's like, I mean, this was how it was in my family too. It was my mom that kind of held everything together, held everyone together. Man. Oh God. Okay, so this card 3 here is ideal, or what she wants. This yeah, see, Page of Cups. She wants to be nourished, right? She wants, like, this Page of Cups. Oh, sorry. This Page of Cups is pouring water, and you have your family members here, and there's a heart right there at the root. She needs that nourishment. She really wants to be nourished. She also wants to be appreciated for what she does. She also needs the love and the attention that kind of she's giving everybody else, but she's not receiving it, and she wants some. So that's basically ideally what she wants. And what she has to work with, this card number 4 here below. 7 of Cups. Right? She has to make choices, right? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I go for this? Should I go for that? And she's trying in different ways to communicate with everybody in her family about what she needs or what she wants, and she's trying different tactics with different people, because they had probably dealing with different personalities, and she's trying to communicate with them what she wants. And this, and every person is a different person, just like every cup here is different. She's dealing with different people, and she's trying to figure out, how do I approach every person in what way? And that's kind of what she's trying to figure out. That's what she has to work with. Now, see, so far, 1, 2, and 3, you got Cups cards. So it's all about her feelings and her emotions, and it's all, that's pretty much all there is so far, right? So let's look at what happened in the past. And here we have Judgment reversed, right? So in the recent past, or in the past, she has, Judgment. If you see over here, this lady is she's literally being judgy of herself, and about her weight and everything, and it's reversed. So she's not trying to be judgy. Now, this is very, very interesting, this card, this imagery. And honestly, I'm going to have to refer to this book here, because the traditional Judgment card meaning would be, if this were a traditional deck, a Rider-Waite deck, for instance, the Judgment card would talk about, cycles, karmic cycles, or long-standing cycles of suffering and pain, which have not yet been handled, tackled, or which are not yet over. But looking at this imagery, it looks like she's struggling with some kind of, issue, which has not been sorted yet, if you were to kind of generalize this with this imagery. So I'm going to just look at the book and see what the book says, just so we don't get it wrong, right? We have assessment, acceptance, and harsh criticism. The time has come to weigh the facts and yourself. Judgment is about abandoning bad habits and accepting yourself for who you really are. Don't be modest. Take credit for all your good deeds and valuable traits. Shed the negative thoughts that weigh you down with their high-calorie burdens. True happiness is more about eliminating low self-esteem than losing those pesky 5 pounds. Okay, so this is, again, if you connect that to the issue which we are looking at, where she feels underappreciated for all the work she puts in, for the emotional connections that she puts in her family, you can say that this is a habit that she's been trying to overcome. She's been trying to break this cycle for a very long time. And coming from the past where she kind of realized that this is what's happening, she's been really working at it to, but not having much success with it because, it's reversed. So what does she have to look forward to? Oh, the King of Cups. How interesting, right? She needs to have a conversation with her husband. She needs to sit down, maybe even have a drink or two with him and talk to him heart to heart, open up about her feelings to her husband. And she's been trying so far to no avail. So maybe they need to sit down and really have that heart to heart and discuss this issue. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard for her to keep going, and she's going to be going through an emotional breakdown or something if he doesn't listen to what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to fold up these cards like this so it becomes a little bit easier. One by one, we're going to look at these cards, right? So what's going on with her? We have, again, 9 of Cups reversed, right? So basically, we've seen this. It's all the 7, 8, 9, King, Page, Queen, everything. All the cups are here, right? Basically, she realizes that she has a very good family. Everything is good with her life, but she's discontented, not because of lack of money or things or material situations, but lack of the emotional support that she really honestly wants in her marriage. And that is kind of getting her down. That is getting her discontented. So it's kind of the same message coming through. So it's kind of like a confirmation here. Then we have her environment, Queen of Wands. Here you go. She's trying, she's talking, she's expressing herself. The Queen of Wands is usually quite aggressive and quite passionate. So she's been trying very passionately to kind of get her thoughts out and, communicate with everybody. She's like, listen to me, like this woman. She's like, listen to me. I'm talking to you. This is what I'm going through. And she's trying, but I guess there's nobody's listening. Her hopes and fears are 6 of Wands reversed, right? Her hopes and fears, ultimately 6 of Wands is the card of success, right? She is maintaining a lovely home and, upright. Basically, this card shows a picture of a lovely home that is even the envy of everybody else. But she thinks now her hopes, her fears, actually, not her hopes, her fears are that, as soon as she kind of maybe loses interest, because soon as she is losing interest in keeping it all together, then her whole entire household, whatever she has struggled or whatever she has worked so hard to kind of maintain or keep in a certain way, spick and span, neat and nice, and, everybody connected, she feels that it'll all sort of come apart, break apart, and spread out and get cluttered everywhere and just basically disconnect from each other. And what she had created to be the kind of the envy of everyone else, well, that will not remain what it is. Wow, okay. So she fears that the family will kind of break down basically if she stops putting in her emotional input, and if she doesn't receive sustenance, what she wants actually to keep going, then she will have to ultimately step away, and that will break down everything, and that'll be a disaster. So what will come? What lies ahead? Ace of Cups. Ouch. I'm afraid this is not good news. All right. But in a way, you can see this energy of Ace of Cups. You can utilize this. This is, Ace of Cups reverse basically indicates that her cup will be emptied. Emotionally, she will kind of, drain out. And it shows that, she might find herself in a place where she's like done, tired. She's like, whatever happens, I don't care. I need that emotional support and sustenance. And if you look at, that with the King of Cups here, I will kind of also say you can use this energy to your advantage. Okay, you can go up to your husband and basically show him how empty your cup is. You can talk to him, you can discuss with him, you can emotionally see. Up until now, if you see this Queen of Wands, you've been making a passionate, kind of expression of what your situation is. But what you need to do is make an emotional approach. You gotta connect with him emotionally. You gotta tell him through feelings. You gotta reach him in that space. Actually, not through your anger, not through intellect or logic, but through feelings and emotions. You gotta show him. You gotta tell him how tired and worn out you actually are, how your cup has really emptied out, and that you need help filling it back up. Maybe worst comes to worst, if you really let things fall apart, like in this picture here, he might actually for a moment sense it, see it for himself, that, oh, look how things fall apart. And maybe, just maybe, that might kind of induce him to help you out with with the housework and with everything else that you're doing all by yourself. Wow, this now if you see, all right, if you see the big picture also, see, again, you have all these cups cards. You have like this is a 10 plus 1 card spread, in which you have 1, 2, I'm not looking at the significator, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 cards. So 60% of this is all about emotions. Then you have the World card and the Judgment card, which are like literally cards 20 and 21 of the major arcana. So this is like the final kind of, if you see the journey of the major arcana from 0 to 21, these are the last 2. So it's kind of like the final stage of everything, right? So it's come to a head, literally, big picture, right? And of course, you got these 2 Wands cards. So there is fire, there is passion, but this is all about emotions most of the time, right? So this is all about feelings, this is all about emotions, this is all about needing that emotional sustenance. And this can happen. I guess all of us women out there who have been in all of us, even men out there who have been in families, we've grown up with parents in our families, we've seen our parents do it, or in our families we are doing it consciously, unconsciously, right? One person puts in a lot of emotional content to keep everything together. Then there's the other person who may or may not be able to provide support but needs to. I'm not saying it's always the guy who needs to do it, because I've seen the other way around story also, but in this case this is what the story is, but I've also seen the other way around happen. What I'm saying is, each situation is a little bit different, but it does fit into a certain bigger picture pattern. And every family has that one person that kind of keeps it all together. But that person needs all the help and support he or she needs. And this person, whenever he wants that support, he or she needs to kind of get that support. And if that happens, then everything kind of, will remain together. But otherwise, it's very likely it might just fall apart. So, guys, come on. Oh God. Okay, I don't want to sound preachy, but here you are. This is the reading, and maybe you need to either give him a taste of what it's like, if you're not holding it all together, and that'll wake him up to come help you if all else fails. But I guess the first course of action is to have a heart-to-heart, feelings level conversation, not a passionate plea, not an impassioned or even an intellectual kind of trying to explain it to him. No, make it more about your feelings, connect with him on that level and talk to him. And if worst comes to worst, show him what it'll be like if you aren't there to hold it all together. And then maybe that'll help him kind of understand on that emotional level what he needs to do to kind of help you, keep it, like, for instance, if you are the center holding your family together, then he is your kind of center, helping you, keep that going. So he needs to show up and play his role there, right? Okay, so this was a basic, there's a spread, the Celtic Cross relationship spread using the Housewives Tarot, and I hope that I was able to show how one can easily just, you can refer, of course, to the book like we did with the Judgment card. But you can also look at the images on the cards themselves and just go with it, right? Just play with it. Just play with it. Just be open and chill with it, and you can just pick up what's going on. Wow. Wasn't that an interesting spread? I mean, what are the chances, right? Like, the whole spread is all about feelings and emotions, and we're doing a relationship spread. I hope I was able to convey the general gist of how I use the Housewives Tarot deck to do this relationship reading. If you have any questions at all about how I interpreted a particular card, just write to me in the comment section, and I'll be happy to kind of help. No issues, no problems. And if you liked this video, if you thought this was useful for you, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. And I believe if you also click the bell icon, once you've done the subscribe thing, a bell icon should show up. If you click on that, depending on your settings, you'll either receive a notification on your device, phone, iPad, whatever, or on your email. You might receive an email every time I upload a new video. So isn't that cool? You can always be like the first one here and all of that. No, but the thing is, I'm going to be doing one more Celtic Cross example, and that would be about career, because those are the main topics. You have your general reading, you have relationships, you have career related situations. So the next reading will be with another deck. Okay, and it will be about career, and it will be a Celtic Cross spread, so look out for that. I guess if you want to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you can totally do that. I post card a day readings there, and every month I use a different deck. So isn't that cool? You can basically just check out images from a new deck every month, and if you like it, you can buy it. Or if you can also see how I use the imagery to do my interpretation and get that whole thing going. So yeah, I also do readings professionally. So if you want a very personalized reading for yourself where we look at specific issues in depth, feel free to book a reading. The links are in the description below. If you want to subscribe to my newsletter, also the link is in the description below. If you want to learn tarot with me, again, links are in the description below. And yep, I guess that's it. I guess that's it. That's enough for all that. Point is, I will see you again in my next video. Until then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. All right? Bye now.